Hi, welcome back. I'm Dr. Elise Diamond. I'm an OBGYN who helps women with PCOS, and I myself also have PCOS. This video is educational only. Please check with your doctor before you start on any lifestyle changes or major changes to your diet. All right. So, what is inflammation? That's the topic of this video. We're going to talk about inflammatory foods and things in the environment. So, let's just start simple. Inflammation is your body's way of fighting off trouble like an infection or an injury. So generally that's a good thing in the short term, right? If your body stays inflamed all the time, whether that's from a food, from stress, or from toxins, it can throw your hormones way off balance. So for people with PCOS, that could mean more acne, more irregular cycles, more cravings, more fatigue. And in general, some foods can actually add to that inflammation. Let's talk about those, which foods can be a problem, especially if you eat them often. So the thing that I would say is the most inflammatory would be fried foods and foods that use seed oils. So fried foods, especially at fast food places, because they are using the same oil all day, day in and day out, and they are at best changing it once a week, at worst maybe cleaning it once a week and then reusing the oil. That oil becomes incredibly inflammatory, it becomes oxidized, and then once it gets into your body, it can cause a lot of inflammation. So fried foods are even worse than you thought they were, because not only are they linked to difficulty losing weight, but they cause a ton of inflammation. So I would definitely avoid fried foods. If you're going to eat fried foods, fry things at home, fry it with oil that you're only using once, discard the oil after you use it. Seed oils in general should be avoided. They are unnatural and they are created using chemicals, and they have to be refined, deodorized, and they have a lot of potential contaminants in them, such as heavy metals. So you really want to be careful with seed oils. Canola oil, soybean oil, corn oil, these, especially when they're overused, can be very inflammatory. Now, you don't have to cut them out 100%, but the more you swap them out, the better your body may feel. A better alternative would be something from a fruit oil. So that would be an olive oil, where they are directly pressing the fruit to get the oil instead of having to put it through a process like corn. Because if you press corn, you're not going to get an oil out of it. So something like fruit, avocado oil, olive oil, those would be oils that I would say are generally much healthier for you than seed oils. So other things that can be inflammatory would include processed meats. This would include especially the like the deli meats that are not actual meat, but they're like recomposed meat. And then of course we talked about carbohydrates in the last video, so things like white breads, white crackers, white pasta, white rice, those can be very inflammatory because they get processed so quickly into your bloodstream that they affect your insulin and make your insulin spike. Sugar itself has been shown to be inflammatory. No, sugar is not the enemy. We don't want to demonize sugar, but if you are overdoing it on sugar, then you are leading to worsening of the insulin resistance through inflammatory processes. So what should you eat? Generally, that would mean a whole food, a real food. So that means whole fruits and veggies, lean proteins, healthy fats. You want olive oil, avocado, nuts. You want to incorporate good herbs and spices into your foods. And you may consider using anti-inflammatory tea, like green tea or even peppermint tea. The more whole foods you can incorporate into a diet, the more nutrients you're getting and the less inflammatory it's going to be. So moving on to hormone disruptors. Okay, this one gets paid less attention, but it does matter. Some chemicals in our environment can mess with our hormones, and these are called endocrine disruptors. Now, you could find them in plastics, especially plastics that get heated in the microwave, canned foods because the lining of the can has BPA, non-stick pans because of the lining that makes it non-stick, and then some makeup, lotions, and fragrances, as well as cleaning supplies that may have strong scents. In terms of makeup in particular, there's a really good app called the Yuka, Yuka app. So I recommend that you use that app and check all of the lotions and makeups that you're going to be using and see if they have any flagged ingredients that show that it may be harmful for you. Some swaps that you can do in terms of getting these hormone disruptors, endocrine disruptors, out of your environment would be trying to switch from plastic containers to glass or stainless steel or ceramic. You really want to avoid microwaving plastic. So anything that's in plastic, that would be like a ready-made meal or reheating leftovers, you really don't want to microwave those in plastic. You're going to want to look at your lotions and your makeup and check the ingredients in that Yuka app. And then if you are able to, try to get BPA-free cans, especially for acidic foods such as tomatoes. And ultimately, if you're able to make some small changes, you may notice bigger changes in your hormones and your periods. So ultimately, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. And I do not expect you to live a completely toxin-free, sugar-free, perfect lifestyle. This is not about fear. This is just about awareness and giving your body a better chance to heal and balance its hormones. Even a small step, such as swapping out fried foods at a restaurant for fried foods at home, or eating one less processed meal, is worth celebrating. So thanks for watching. In the next video, we're going to wrap everything up and put it all together.